Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
I can hear her too.
Hi, Robin.
Hey there.
Where did you go on vacation?
See my kids in Virginia and North Carolina.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Very
And grandkids.
Yes, I have one grandchild. He's a little over 1.5. Wonderful time with him.
That's great. That's fun.
Very fun.
Everybody's having grandkids. Not me. Lots of other people seem to be, which is great.
Hey Beth, can you hear me okay?
Yep,
Yep.
you sound great. You made it home. Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay. I said you made it home.
I made it home.
Traffic was okay.
Pretty okay.
Yeah. Did you
Yep.
take Route 2?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been on Route 2 an awful lot. Gotta be on it again tomorrow. My mom lives in Acton. And
Oh.
she's, 88 and needs a lot.
Wow.
So I feel like I'm on that road an awful lot.
I grew up in Acton.
You did?
Yep.
No way.
Yep.
I grew
Well-
up in Acton.
I went to there through 6th grade.
Which school?
I went to Miriam.
Yeah, I went to Conant. That's crazy. That is crazy.
You're a lot younger than I am.
I don't know about that. Where did your family live?
We lived on Brucewood Road, which
I
is
don't
kind
know
of,
where that is.
yeah, it's kind of hard to describe, but it's actually off of Route 2A.
Okay, yeah. I grew up on Hosmer Street, which is off of Concord Road, which is off of 2A,
Yeah.
right near the cemetery, like across kind of that neighborhood in there.
There you go.
That's crazy. It's
We'll
truly
be finding out we were mowing each other's lawns or something. I'll go get my glasses. I'll be right back.
That is funny. Yep, Mary's here. Okay, good. Got everybody. All right, it's 7 o'clock, March 14th, 2024. I'm calling this meeting of the Shutesbury Conservation Commission to order. This meeting is being recorded. All right. First thing on our agenda is minutes. So why don't we go ahead and do that? We've got 2 sets of minutes, September 28th, 2023 and October 8th, 2023. Anybody have any comments or changes?
No, I met with Carrie today and we made a few, edits.
Great. Carrie's got her hand up. Yes, Carrie?
Yeah, I just noticed that it's October 5th. It says that on the minutes, but I wrote it incorrectly on the agenda, but
thought I'd
Oh,
share.
okay,
That's my bad.
good to know. Yes, October 5th. Somebody's should mute themselves. I hear background noise. All right, if everybody's okay with the minutes, somebody want to make a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes for September 28 and October 5th, 2023.
Second,
All right, Harrington,
Aye.
Khan,
Aye.
David? David
I
and Wilson? Aye.
I know, I'm trying to figure it.
Oh, is Mary, is it your background noise?
Yeah, I'm trouble hearing, so
It's okay. Don't hear anything anymore, so it's all good. All right, there's a lot of stuff going on. Let's see. I'm gonna start with, I met with the select board. The select board looked at our fee table. So we have fees in our new regulations that we just passed, but the fees need to be approved by the select board. So this week I went to the select board meeting and shared a sort of comparison table, which I can show you guys if you're interested. It's comparing our proposed fees with fees from other towns. Something actually that Miriam had worked on a little bit before she left. And it went really well. The select board was fine with all of our fees. We agreed that the notice of intent fees were a little high because with a notice of intent, you have to submit a fee to the state and there's a fee that gets calculated through the state application, and the town gets half of that anyway. So say it's an application where the state fee is $200, the town gets 100, state gets 100. So what we have in our table and in our new regulations are actually local fees that are on top of that state fee. So we just looked at those and looked at some other towns, like Amherst, for example, doesn't charge any additional local fee. They just take the state 50% with notices of intent. So we looked at that and we decided to keep a local fee, but divide them in half. So like $100 for the simplest NOI now has a $50 local fee. In the end, though, because the state has a $100 fee, we're gonna get half of that. So we get 50 from the state application, we get 50 on our local fee, we get $100 for basically the simplest NOI. So that's where we're at with that. And I think we just make that little change to the fees, and we make it one of our changes to the regulations when we're gonna have to go back and update our regulations because of the bylaw that we sent had a few little changes that ended up having to be changed in the regulations. So we kind of have a running list of a few things that need to be changed again with the regulations. So when we go back and make those changes and do a public hearing for changes to the regulations, we'll add in those changes to the fees. And if you guys have any questions, I can share more info about that. But it's pretty good. And if you look at you look in the regs and you see what we've got in there, what we're really proposing, and then I don't know if you look back at our old regulations and bylaw, you'll see that all we were really charging for were RDAs and NOIs, and it was $25 for sort of anything that wasn't like single family home. And then there was, I forget now, there was a little bit of an additional fee that you could add on, but we didn't really have much of a fee at all under our old system. So this is great. We've got a fee for certificates of compliance. We've got fees for amended orders of conditions. So it'll be good. It'll be really great to be getting some money that we can use for administering state and local regs and and stuff, so that's that. Also Scott and I met with Steve Sullivan from the DPW and Becky and talked about doing a bundled NOI, having the DPW do a bundled NOI. Scott, I don't know if you want to share some info about that meeting?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. It was a really positive meeting. I think we talked just generally about, the bylaw that we had before, the new bylaw and the State Wetland Conservation Act, and how we can work to with the highway department to best support them and ensuring compliance with all of that as they're doing their highway projects. And really, I think we had discussed an approach of dividing their work up into three kind of bundles. There's maybe one set of activities that would be exempt activities under the bylaw Wetland Conservation Act, where we could enumerate those, but they can just go ahead and perform that work. They're kind of regular routine maintenance work associated with the roads. There would be another bundle of work where they could do that work, but they would need to let us know. So maybe some activities like emergency type activities where they're needing to take care of things, but that they would coordinate that with the Concom. And then maybe another set of projects that might be a little bit more specific, where we would need to spell out what some of those conditions were. And so we did talk about using some templates that the other towns have used to kind of pull that bundled NOI together that Beth was talking about. And I think Steve is going to go back and take a look at projects that they had upcoming for the year to bring those so we could talk through that further. And we talked about getting together again. I don't remember exactly what the dates were, but it was later on. I think it was later on this month, I think, or might have been early April. But that kind of the report. I don't know if folks had any questions on that. I thought it was a really positive meeting.
Yeah, I did too. I think then we made some progress, just in kind of setting up the scope of what the NOI will consist of, and now everybody's gonna do a little homework. And it's gonna be great. I can't remember when the next meeting is either. It's in my calendar. All right. Write this down before I forget. Okay, what else? We got I'm assuming you guys saw the email from Kestrel Land Trust about the Baker Fields Conservation Area. Did you guys see that?
Yes.
Yeah, so that sounded fine to me. They wanted to put up these two structures. One was a little farm stand and one was some kind of a corral kind of thing.
Mhm.
And I thought that was fine. Kestrel thought it was fine. So
Yep.
yep.
Yeah, look good.
Yeah, I guess this is Bakerfield's it's right at the corner of Baker and Pelham Hill, right? Jeff Lacy's old property. Does anybody know? That's from the map. I think that's where it is. Should know, but pretty sure that's what we're talking about. That area over there. So okay, what else? Oh, email from a resident on Pine Drive. I'm not sure if this ended up going to everybody, but there was a resident from Pine Drive who emailed about drainage and drainage swales and these two little settling basins over there. Pine Drive is off of Shore Drive down by the lake. And I know I went on a site visit there with Miriam and Mary I don't remember if anybody else, if either of you guys were with us. This was a while ago. But anyway, it sounds like a lot of the same issues. Maybe Mary, do you want to expand on, because you're down there, you know what's going on.
Yeah, the shore drive has been really bad this year. With potholes and, the water overflowing the culverts and draining down directly into the lake. It really, they really need to be cleaned out. So there's a lot of emails going around about fixing the road up. A private person did fulfill in the potholes, but the culverts are all filled with leaves and filled up again, and that's why they're flowing over and creating the potholes. And trying to get the town or LWA, because everybody has different opinions, to kind of address the issue has been a real challenge.
Right, so this resident was sort of reaching out to us, asking for support. See if we can communicate with LWA and LWAC a little bit. So I was wondering if anybody wanted to do another site visit out there.
I mean, I do
Anytime?
think it's a benefit to take a look at it.
Oh, yeah.
It's beyond all the issues that people raise. I mean, I do live here. I have holes in front of my yard, and now I have a deep trench from the rain coming down. I can't fix the culverts, but somebody needs to figure out a working plan and to work with the town to see who can figure this out.
Yeah. So I'm happy to do a site visit.
Our LWAC meeting's on Saturday too, so I'll bring it up there.
Okay,
Just for more discussion.
yeah, that sounds good.
But it would be nice if other people besides just me to kind of look at what people are talking about.
How about I'll send an email around to set up a site visit time, maybe for next week.
Okay,
Okay. All right. All right, it's 7:16. I found this official thing that in Amherst, the chair always reads when they open hearings. So here we go. This hearing is being held as required by the provisions of Chapter 131, Section 40 of the General Laws of the Commonwealth, an act relative to the protection of wetlands, as most recently amended. And I don't have our article for our bylaw, so I'm just going to say, and the Town of Shutesbury Wetlands Protection Bylaw. This hearing is for notice of intent for 74 Lake Drive. All right, so Ryan, who's here to talk about the project?
Hello, my name's
Good.
Cole Modesto for Arlo Beck
Okay.
Associates.
Ah,
Here representing Mr. Pickering for the 74 Lake Drive property. Here
Great.
today we filed for a notice of intent. If it's okay with the commission, I'd like to share my screen, show the plan.
yep.
Let me know if you guys can see that.
I don't see anything yet. Now I see some.
yeah,
Okay.
me too.
Okay, well, the project is consisting of a remodeling of an existing home. There will be a proposed garage outside of any limit of work, any buffer zones. The project will include a silt fence around the entire limit of work. There will be some trees taken inside of the buffer zone. Would like to note that a portion of these trees are detrimental. They're leaning over the existing house. The existing house, it will not be growing in a shape or form. It'll just be some renovation going on with it. Along with this project, there is also been a filing of the NHESP, because there is an existing dock that we were bringing up to code and licensure, and we wanted to make sure, obviously, we're not violating anything. So with the filing of the NHESP, we have a determination back from them saying that there is a no take, that there is no issue with the existing dock, and that should solve that. The trees around the house are leaning heavily over the house, and they kind of are causing a little problem for the owners. Other than that, there will be a new septic system being placed right around, if you guys see my cursor. There'll be a new septic system, a pump system onto about a retaining wall here. The reason for the retaining wall is because right about here, the beginning of the site, it is about like 9 feet higher than the existing house. So this helps ease off the flow of everything. As well as a limit as little tree clearing goes, there will be the only other work being done inside the buffer zone is a new walkway access from the garage down into the existing house. I'd be happy to answer any other questions. You guys have any?
Yeah, I think I have a few. I'm sure the other Concom members too. Are you guys filing for Chapter 91 for the dock?
Yes.
So
And
that's
that
been
needs to be
submitted.
for both the docks, right?
I believe the intent is to reuse the existing dock. It's just a removable aluminum seasonal dock, the one, the typical kind that you place right down on those 4 legs.
It still needs to be permitted with the Chapter 91.
Right, right. The file has gone through, and we actually have a comment back saying that it's okay.
Oh, I don't
For
think I've
both-
seen that. Is
For
there?
both, I don't see it for both docks, though.
I believe the
have-
intent is to reuse just the one.
So you submitted permitting for one of the docks?
I believe so. I can absolutely check into that.
Yeah, I think that'd be a question. Because both of them are seasonal removable docks, right?
Yes, it's currently just an aluminum dock that pulls right out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, so we'd need to see something from the Chapter 91 folks about both of them.
Absolutely.
Okay. My other question had to do with, well, I have a couple questions, but one is just, do you know how many trees within the 100-foot buffer zone you're planning to take down?
Yeah, actually, I believe Mr. Pickering had just did a site visit with the town, and I believe the total number that it came to was 10 trees are inside of the 100-foot buffer zone that are proposed to be removed.
Okay, yeah, that was me kind of like estimating, but that's what I said, but maybe he walked around and actually counted them after we left. But I was sort of just kind of glancing and I was like, it looks like about 10, but I guess we would want
I would
to
say
know
that's
that
about
number.
correct.
Okay, because I think what might be needed is some kind of a planting plan
Mhm.
for the project, because just in terms of trees, our regulations do require replanting
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
trees. So we would need to see how many trees you're planning to replant, and the species, and then also just general vegetative cover of all the areas that are going to be, graded and all that.
Yep, I would
Um,
like to note all disturbed areas will be loamed and seeded to prevent any erosion runoff. And we can absolutely provide a planting plan for you guys.
That would be great, yeah, because I'm assuming you were thinking of replanting trees. A
I
number of
believe
the
that's the
trees.
intent, yeah.
Yeah, so we'd like to see where they are, where you're thinking of planting them, and the species and that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Okay. What else was I wondering about? Yeah, I guess, well, one of my questions was the walkways. So there's only one proposed walkway? Because it said hardscape walkways, and I didn't see that on the plan unless There's just that one that's gonna come from the garage.
Right, if you can see my cursor, yeah, coming out from the garage, this top area, the parked area, will come
Yeah.
down here just for access to the house. Because it will be about a 5-foot retaining wall.
Okay. So no other, I guess, sort of like hardscape areas
No
besides
other
that, and then,
impervious, no.
okay. And then we didn't, at the site visit, we noted that the driveway isn't marked on the plan as being paved.
Yes, the client would like to pave this, you know, he would like to park a car on there and not provide any erosion or anything as well.
Right, so I think that might have to be changed on the plan, just, you know, to have the correct record. It doesn't, I don't
Sure.
see anywhere, at least there, where it says that that's gonna be
Yeah,
paved.
that,
And
absolutely,
sort
we
of
can note that.
what the extent of the paved area is gonna be there.
I think it makes the most sense just to pave in front of that garage area, just to park it, and so it doesn't erode going down that hill.
Okay. Yeah, and then the other area that we talked at the site visit and is a little concern is drainage. I know you have the swale going down there,
Mhm.
and there's no description here or anywhere of if that's gonna be a vegetated swale. And I guess there's no discussion sort of in the narrative about drainage in general. You know, you're kind of the plan of what you think is gonna happen with drainage, so a little description would be helpful, because it's an area that gets a lot of water.
Yeah.
And I guess just for us to know that you put some thought into the volume that might come and the increase in volume from the paved area. And if you think that swale is gonna be able to manage the drainage.
Yeah, so we kind of looked at the amount of impervious area versus impervious that's going on over the site, and it's such a minimal amount. It's just the garage and the paved area in front of the garage. We believe that a loamed and seeded grass swale would be plenty to infiltrate before it actually even runs all the way down the hill as well.
Okay, did you say vegetated? Yeah, a vegetated swale?
Grassed swale, yeah.
Grass swale, okay. Yeah, Jeff was saying that the soils there are pure sand, and so infiltration.
Yeah, things should
should
flow
work
straight
really well.
downhill.
Yeah. All right, well, those are my main questions. Does the rest of the commission have some questions?
No?
No.
I think that just as you already said, that area for the drainage, it really does need a drainage and maintenance plan.
Good idea too.
Noted.
And I think you covered all the other things we talked about on the site visit.
Mhm.
All right. Do you have your list there of things? Because I think, so it sounds like we'll have to continue the public hearing.
Right, I believe that was kind of where we were going at before we came in.
Yeah.
Just to introduce the project, make sure everyone's comfortable with it. Obviously, want to take all the comments and address them all.
Great.
And just a real, the number of trees taken out in that area, but also the area
Yep.
that's outside the
There's some
100
trees
feet
here.
that you
and
want to
trees
take,
right here.
that you want to take out too. Just to see where they are and then what the plan is for replacing.
Sure, so the immediate intent is to take out all the trees hanging over the house as well as this road inside the 100-foot buffer zone. The client does intend to take out these trees. These are outside the buffer zone. Yeah, that's basically all it is.
So yeah, even the trees outside the buffer zone, we'd like to just hear what the planting plan is, mostly because of water and drainage. There's a lot of trees that we want to take down that are really not all damaged.
Sure. I understand. Right.
You may want to take just a look at our new regulations, has a section on tree replacement.
Yes, I did see that.
Okay, great. That'll
Thank you for the
that'll
recommendation.
inform your landscaping plan. All right. Well, if there aren't any more comments, I think we have a good list there. And I guess I would propose to the applicant our next meeting, which is March 28th. And we can, the same time, 7:15. If that works for you,
Absolutely.
great. All right, somebody want to make a motion to continue the public hearing? Hey, Cole, could you stop sharing?
I'll
your
make,
screen?
I'll make
Yeah,
a
I'll
motion to
just
continue
search
the
for that button
public
right now.
hearing till the 28th at, what time did you say, 7:15?
Yep. Second?
I second.
All right. Harrington,
I,
David,
Aye.
Khan,
Aye.
Wilson, aye. All right, great. Well, we will see you in 2 weeks.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out.
All right, thank you so much. Nice talking
right.
to you guys tonight.
Thank you. All right. All right, next on the agenda is lot H 151. It's a request for an ORAD extension. Who is here for that project? Carrie?
I don't see him. I was kind of looking while the other project was presenting to see if he was coming in, but I don't see him yet.
I think we told him 7:30, right? So he might be here, you know,
Yeah,
any
I'll
minute.
I'll double check on that.
Okay. But while we're waiting, I'm just gonna skip down to number 6 because I can just talk about that one and we can get it done while we wait for, I think his name is Mark. That is lot ZW-16, which is, the address is 18 January Hills Road. And what was sent to the town was a request to take that property out of chapter 61 because they're thinking of selling it. It's a large parcel. In fact, parcel 16 is only one of, I think, 4 or 5 parcels that is everything that they're thinking of selling. And in fact, I believe it's one of the others that is actually in chapter 61, the larger one, like 25 acres or something. I think it's ZW 25 actually. Anyway, point is that we get to kind of evaluate that for conservation purposes, but at this point, the town's asking the lawyers for more information because the request they sent was very basic. And so our assessor, David Burgess, is going to reach out to the lawyer and ask for more like some maps and some more information on the parcel and which sections of it are in chapter 61. And even I think they need to provide us with an estimated price and stuff like that so that we can evaluate whether we think the town should use their right of first refusal to potentially buy it if there's any interest at all by the town. But anyway, there just wasn't enough information with that first letter. I put it on the agenda when we got that letter, thinking we could talk about it, but then heard that the town's going to request more information. So we don't have to do anything tonight about it, and it'll just be on our agenda for next week. I mean, for our next meeting. So that is that.
Excuse me. Hi, folks. My name is Mary Ann Mahoney, and I was jumping on, listening to when we got to that item. I live across the
okay.
street. I live on 21 January Hills Road across the street from that property. So I've heard a number of things about what they might be potentially planning to do and just was wanting to get up to speed with whatever the process is. So I don't know the protocol when you're not at the very beginning of the meeting. I apologize. Anyway, That's
No,
why I
that's
was here.
fine.
And I will blot myself out now, so I'm not one more distraction in your process.
Oh,
Thank
that's no problem. And come to our next meeting on March 28th because it'll stay on the agenda and maybe there'll be more information.
Great. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
is the town asking that question too, what the plan is?
The town is, yeah, the town assessor is the one requesting it from the lawyer and all that information comes to the Conservation Commission. It also goes to the Planning Board. I think those might be the two boards really that evaluate and then make kind of a recommendation to the select board on the property.
Yeah,
So-
it's a big chunk of land. I think there's a 47-acre parcel, and then the house with the 13 acres is, I believe, and
Okay,
separate.
yeah. So it's 50 acres, yeah.
A
not
beautiful
25.
stream. Yeah, it's a beautiful stream running through it. And it abuts all kinds of protected land. So
Mhm.
very interesting piece. Anyway, thank you for the hard work you do. Somewhere in the not too distant future, I hope to be able to join the commission. I so appreciate all your hard work for causes.
Thank
that
you.
are near and dear to
Thank
my
you.
heart.
We're always looking for volunteers.
Thank you. I'm going to listen in, but get myself out of your face.
Okay,
Thanks so much.
no problem. I see Mark Whiteman is here. Mark, you want to talk about lot H 151?
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
I'm trying to get the picture here. Hold on one second. There you go. For better or for worse. How are you?
Good, good. Oh, it's always good to see faces.
Yes. It's nice to have a face. So back in April 23rd, 2021, you folks approved the ORAD, and the process for getting the special permits to make this parcel a buildable lot have been arduous at best and have taken 3 years. So we just completed a few months ago, and I called Dan Nietzsche, who's my wetlands guy, and asked him if there was a possibility for an extension to this ORAD, and he said, yeah, it's very typical. As long as nothing environmental or through the Conservation Commission stuff has changed up there, that a 3-year extension is granted with the permission of the Conservation Commission. He said, wait until you're closer to the date, because whenever you ask for the extension, that's when the clock will start, or once the approval is given. So if it's given prior to the expiration, this expires April 22nd. So I started 2 months ago, and I guess missed your meeting in January, and then you guys had a little discussion in February, and now we're in March.
Yeah, and now we have meetings twice a month, so it's helpful. It'll be more helpful.
Nice.
Yeah, once the spring, summer, we meet twice a month. That all sounds good. Did Mr. Nietzsche say that, did anybody actually go to the site and walk around to see any changes with the wetlands, whoever had originally delineated it?
No, we have we've been through this process multiple times. I think over the last 10 years, we've had 3 ORADs. I would have to check those dates, but it's been 10 or 12 years. I've proposed several things to the town, and I was trying to do things that I thought would be positive for the town. I own 2 other buildings up in town, and I'm a taxpayer, so I try to think of other things that would reduce the tax burden as much as possible on the rest of us and make me income. But this process of going through the delineation has happened at least 3 times, and it did. There was let's see, after the first one, we went for the second one, and you folks hired a consultant to go through it with Dan. She had different ideas than the board had prior, and Dan acquiesced and agreed because the small area she wanted changed didn't affect the plan at all. When we went for the third ORAD, there were no changes. So unless another wetlands consultant is hired by you folks that has different beliefs than the prior consultant, I would think it's safe to assume there is no changes. There's not been any physical changes to the property.
Okay. Let's see, the ORAD was. It issued in 2021, right?
That's correct.
All right. Um, I guess
Looks-
my thought, but I'd like to hear from the rest of the commission. Is just that it would, I think the commission just needs to know that somebody's gone out there recently and just walked a little bit, taken the delineation map and just checked, meaning, you know, you're a wetland person, you know, just
Yeah,
checked.
I can-
And then if they, in writing, just say, I walked it on such and such a day and the delineation that was approved in 2021 hasn't changed at all, then yes, we can absolutely do an extension, which is really easy to do. But I think we do need at least something that sort of says that.
Not a problem. I'll text Dan tonight and have him get up there sometime. He's been wonderful for me, so I'm gonna guess he'll get up there sometime this week.
Okay.
And, do you want it, I'm trying to think of how to get it to the easiest way. Would that letter that's emailed be all right?
Yep,
With a, you know, attachment?
that would be fine. A letter maybe with attachment of the same delineation map that had been submitted. And just saying that, you know, these same points haven't changed at all.
Okay.
Each of the wetland
And
points.
we're coming on April 22nd is the deadline for this. So is this something that as long as we're in agreement tonight and you receive that document, you can take care of the extension?
Yeah, in fact, I don't think you wouldn't even have to come back to our next meeting, but yeah, if I get it between now and our next meeting, which is March 28th, it'll just be on the agenda again. And if everything's fine, yes, the commission can vote on issuing the extension that
Great.
night.
Great. I'll send him a text tonight and I'm not sure what time he goes to bed. So I'll send him a text tonight and get a response from him, I'm sure by tomorrow. And I'm gonna guess he'll be up there this week or sometime this weekend.
Great, that sounds good. That
Great.
sounds perfect.
Appreciate the help.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for coming.
Not a worry. Have a great night.
You too. All right. Now we have 66 Leverett Road, lot 032, order of conditions amendment request. Mary Ann?
Oh, you mean the other Mary Ann? Sorry.
I do. I just thought of that. I was like, yeah, I need help.
Okay.
Hi, I'm on two computers because if you like, I have a file to share and it doesn't look good on the computer that has the video and the audio. But anyway, so we submitted a site plan when we submitted the NOI application a couple of months ago. And since then, we've had a slight reduction in the parking area. The reduction was a cost saving measure and also just simplified the site plan. The turnaround at the end of the parking lot on the sort of the south end of the property came within let's see, it came within 4.5 feet of the property boundary, and then there wasn't proper room for grading, so it required a retaining wall. And so we decided to eliminate one parking space and make the turnaround narrower. And now the turnaround is 15 feet from the property line. It no longer, the buffer between the buffer, not the buffer zone, the buffer between the property line and the edge of the parking area can be graded properly. So their need for a retaining wall has been eliminated. There'll still be a curb, all along that edge. Um, and, so the old plan had 23,447 feet of paving. The revised plan has 22,925 feet of paving, so a reduction of 522 feet of impervious surface. And the drainage patterns won't change, because it's a small change. And there's still a curb. So there aren't any changes to the stormwater management system. We did send a picture, with a sort of hand-drawn new line, when I sent you a letter. But if you like, I have, more detailed drawings from the architect that I could try to share, or I could just send them to you.
Yeah, I think for tonight's discussion where we're just deciding, at this point, the commission just decides if we feel like the change is large enough to require a new notice of intent, or if we feel like it's not significant really to the whole impacts to the resource area and whatnot, that then we just recommend an amendment. I think your drawing it's okay for me. I guess, does the rest of the commission feel like it was enough?
Yeah.
For this part, they probably, just for the record, should send a formal
Yeah.
one when you have it.
Right, when we actually, have the
Yeah.
public hearing with the amendment. At that point, we would want the updated drawings. So, all right, so my thought would be that it's not a large enough of a change to require a full new filing of a notice of intent. I think an amendment is fine. How does everybody else feel?
I
I
agree.
agree.
Great, okay. So the process then is that we do have to have a full public hearing for an amendment. So Mary Ann, you have to do a butter notification and a
Yeah,
legal ad, and all that. But our next meeting's March 28th. And let's see, I just put that other thing at 7:15. So we could say, why don't we say 7:45, just in case some other things come up too, but just to give it plenty of room. So 7:45, March 28th, work for you?
yep,
Okay,
yeah.
great.
I don't know if I'll be here, but other members of our team will be here. You'll recognize them. And
I'm sure we will.
and so we'll do Carrie will do the legal notice. I'll do the abutters notices. And then I'll send you the updated plans. Do I need to send you anything else?
Well, if the impact areas, if the numbers that are in the notice of intent form are changing, like your proposed impact,
Uh-huh.
that needs to be updated.
Okay.
And then it's really up to you whether you feel like any of the narrative or anything else really changes from these changes.
Okay.
But for me, it's really the numbers, because that has to go into the permit too,
Okay.
impact numbers
Okay.
too.
Okay.
That's about it.
Okay. All right. Okay. All righty. I can figure
Great.
that out. Okay, good. Okay, so 7:45 on the 28th. Okay. All
Yep.
right.
Sounds good.
Great.
All
Okay,
right.
thank you. Okay.
Yep.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mary Ann just left, but well, she may still be here, but just an update actually on that project.
Do we need to vote on that? Do a formal vote on that?
No, it's because it's not a public hearing. I don't think we need to vote.
Okay.
Well, yeah, maybe we should. Let's make, who
Yeah.
would like to make a motion that we don't feel like the requested changes require a notice of intent. But we're recommending, or we're voting for an amended order of conditions.
I'll make that motion. as stated by Beth.
So it was okay, I think. Second?
Second,
All right, David,
Aye.
Con,
Aye.
Harrington,
aye.
Wilson, I. All right. Oh, I was gonna say, that they recorded the order of conditions for the library project. They're now obviously gonna amend, but they did record, the original order of conditions because they have moved forward with the well. I don't know if you guys have seen, they've been doing a little bit of work out on the site. They put erosion control all around the, well location, and I actually went and inspected it and said it was fine. And I think all they've done so far basically is put the erosion control up. And I guess Mary Ann's not on the call anymore, but I think she said the drillers and whatnot, is next week. The drillers will come to the site and, put the well in, way in the back. So they'll get that done. They needed to do that. They needed to get some information from the well that had to do with then the some of the other stuff they're figuring out for the building. So I think that's the only work that's gonna happen under the old permit before it gets amended and then re-recorded. So that's it. Next on our agenda is just the update on our search for a new commissioner. Where we're at is we've got our questionnaire finalized, but it hasn't been mailed out. But I think tomorrow, I just kind of wanted to talk, mention it to you guys, and then tomorrow I'll have Carrie send it to right now we still have 3 people who have come forward who are interested in being on the commission. So we'll send out our questionnaire. And I wonder if I could put a time limit on when they need to get it back to us. We suppose we could, just in hopes that by our next meeting,
Yeah, I
we
would
could-
hope we'd be able to get it back so we could do something at the next meeting.
Yeah, so maybe the email that we send out will have a little time limit on it, or we would like it back by a certain date. Carrie, you have a question?
So I unfortunately don't have any envelopes with me at home. I wasn't expecting to mail anything out. Would it be okay if I did it on Tuesday, or if we emailed them the forms, and then I can also additionally in paper, just in case if they'd rather it in paper?
Yeah, that seems fine. We have their email do you have their email addresses?
Yes.
Actually, if you email it, it'll probably be better because then they can just expand the area if they have more things they want to write in it.
Yeah. If it's not
If
a
they have it
PDF.
electronically, they can it's just a Word document. They can expand it and add more comments.
What I could do is send out an email in the morning with everyone, just informing them that attached is the questionnaire, and to email it back to us individually. And that if they would like a paper copy, then I can either hand it to them during my office hours, or I can mail it to them and go from there.
Sounds good. Let's
Maybe
Let's
ask
set
them
a
to have it
deadline.
back by the 22nd. That'll
Yeah,
give them,
yeah.
that'll give them
Yeah.
a week.
I think that's good. I think that's a good amount of time. Yeah.
Okay, I can draft that email tonight, and then in the morning I'll send it out and everyone will be attached.
Okay,
Okay, great. So if we get them back on by the 22nd, then we have a few days just to look at them. I think we get them back and Carrie can share them with everybody, and then we can discuss it on the 28th. That makes sense. So that's where we're at with that.
and I just
Um,
want to chime in and
Yes.
say that when my term ends at the end of June, I am definitely out. Because we
Oh,
now confirmed to move down to be closer to our kids. Jim and I signed a lease agreement today, starting later on. We're not gonna probably move fully until the fall, but we're actually gonna take over the lease on Kathleen and Brian's house because they just bought one, closed today. And we'll just, every time we go down to visit in the summer and the fall, we'll move down more of our stuff until we hire the company to move us fully down later in the fall. But when I sign out the end of June, you need somebody else. It's been wonderful, but I'm gonna be near my kids. I mean,
Yeah, no, that's wonderful, actually. Yeah, that whole plan sounds great, because it's sort of like a slow move down there, you know? And
if you
you
know
could-
anybody who would like a 3-bedroom house on Pelham Hill Road with a half a finished basement with a 2-bed guest bedroom down there and a family room and
yeah, we might be interested.
gotta have you over sometime.
Yeah, I'll come take a look before it goes on the market. Um, that sounds like a good plan. We'll be sad to lose you, that's for sure. Life goes on.
It's been an amazing 26 years here in Shutesbury.
Wow. That
Moved
is a
here
long
from
time.
Hawaii in 98.
We'll
From
have to-
Hawaii?
We'll
Why
have to
did I
hire
move
you,
here from Hawaii? No.
we'll have to hire you as a consultant for our invasive species.
Oh, I have tons of invasive species pamphlets and books and stuff that I need to get rid of because I only need one copy of each when I move. So I'm gonna pass them on to one of you at some point.
We'll take them. They can just go in the the Concom library in
Okay.
Town Hall. That's where
Okay,
all that
will
stuff
do.
should go. Definitely.
Will do.
Good. All right. That's, I think, all I have on my notes. Anybody else have anything to share?
Nope. Motion to adjourn.
Absolutely. Second.
Second,
All right. Harrington,
I.
Khan.
There we
David
go. Aye.
Aye.
and Wilson. Aye. All right. That's a short meeting. 7:56.
Good meeting. Yay.
Oh.
We'll
All
be
right.
talking. Thanks.
Yep. We'll
night.
be in touch. Thanks. Good night.
Night.
Good night. Thank you all.